Today is Friday, December 31. My name is Pastor Anthony, and this is Wilderness Wanderings. Today our text comes from Luke chapter 2. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. His mother said to him, "Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you." "Why were you searching for me?" he asked. "Didn't you know I had to be in my father's house?" But they did not understand what he was saying to them. Then he went down to Nazareth with them and was obedient to them. But his mother treasured all these things in her heart. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature, and in favor with God and man. It's Luke chapter 2, verses 48 through 52. Folks at the temple were amazed at Jesus' answers to the teachers. His parents were astonished too, but for a whole different reason. "Son, why have you treated us like this?" I suppose even the Holy Family has their days. Anyone who's parented can be thankful that Luke included this story. Even God himself drove his parents nuts from time to time. And all of us who have been children, or are right now, can take heart too. Even Jesus got himself into hot water sometimes. And that is part of the point of this story. Jesus was a normal kid. Mary and Joseph were normal parents. Their family was a normal Jewish family. They had their tensions. They had their worries. They had their big family stories of, "Remember that time when Jesus ditched us to stay in Jerusalem? Yeah, you nearly gave your father and I a heart attack." All that normal family kind of stuff. There is an ordinariness to this story. And part of that ordinariness is not only about telling us how the Holy Family had their issues too, but also how ordinary the life of faith and faithfulness was among them. Jesus would not have been likely to get lost in his Father's house unless Mary and Joseph brought him there sometimes. But they did, every year. The house of God was a familiar place to Jesus because his family went to church. And when Jesus got to church, he had something to say at the feet of the rabbis because his family talked about the things of God at home, around the dinner table, and on the way to the grocery store, as Deuteronomy 6 called them to. Most significantly, though, over the past 12 years of faithful family life, Jesus had formed a living relationship with God his Father, such that here in these verses, he is able to make his public profession of faith. All sorts of folks have said all sorts of wonderful things about Jesus over the past few chapters of Luke. Angels, shepherds, Elizabeth, Zechariah, Simeon, and Anna. But here, for the first time, Jesus speaks for himself. His relationship with the Father has become his own. It's not Zechariah, Elizabeth, or John's faith. It's not Simeon or Anna's, not even his parents' faith anymore. Jesus has come to know God the Father for himself. "Didn't you know I had to be in my Father's house?" he says. Far from making him arrogant, however, this relationship with God inspires a deeper commitment in Jesus to his Father's ways. From this time on, he is said to keep the fifth commandment, to honor his father and mother in faithful obedience, even as he grows in wisdom and stature in favor with God and man. Study after study shows that the faith life we live at home matters more to the faith of our children than what happens at school or church. And it's the small, simple things that do it. Don't discount the role of small devotions around the dinner table or before bedtime. Even if you don't always get something out of it, a faithful time set aside to attend to God in the life of your family forms the fabric of faith and gives opportunity for faith to find a way into your hearts, lives, and conversations. Of course, this is also an invitation to those of you who are 12 years old, or maybe a little older or a little younger, to think about your own relationship to God. Your parents' faith is not your own, nor can it be. You have to find your own relationship with God and give voice to it yourself, if it really is to be yours. That's what we call profession of faith. Jesus had to do it too. We all do. And today is as good a time as any to think about whether you're ready yourself to claim this God as your Father. I'd be happy to talk with you more about it if you have questions or whatever. Let me know. And parents, despite all our anxieties, that transition of our children into their own responsibility before God is one of those things hidden in the mystery of God that sometimes we can do nothing about, but pray and ponder through, like Mary, in our hearts. So, parents, children, families, all of us, all of you, as you journey on in this life of faith, go with the blessing of God. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you, wherever he may send you. May he guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May he bring you home rejoicing at the wonders he has shown you. May he bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors.